Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy.
Well, hi, folks. Happy Sunday to you. Yeah, Sty Story Sunday. We're back. We're back. Yeah. Hey, I gotta shout out those folks it's just a few out there in the chat right now. Dean, the dancing machine popped in. Hello, Sty. Hope you're feeling okay today. Metal Music Maniac says, because he's looking at the title of the story for tonight. A motorcycle kind of needs a front wheel to be called a motorcycle unless you're sitting on a motorized unicycle. But no, you can ride that unicycle. I ain't riding that thing. Yeah. That's one what wheel I don't want to find out. There's Justin Anderson yelling, howdy, Sty. It's great to see you guys out there this evening. I've got somebody in the basement. They can't hang around long, so I want to bring them up real quick. So we can catch up. Him and I haven't been able to catch up much lately, and he's got a lot going on this week and in the future. And I'd love to hear a little more about his plans and some of his life changes that are coming about. It'll be pretty interesting. But here he is. There we go. It's a campground host.
It is a campground host. I'm glad to be back at Black.
I bet you are.
Set.
I bet
Friday,
you are.
we got the camper set up. The solar panels are set up. We're back at Black. Don't you know we're glad to be back? I've been seeing.
Oh boy, I bet. Were there campers this weekend?
There was one on 24, and then there was a guy that took Site 3 for the night.
Oh,
Night we had the campground to ourselves.
Yeah, cool. And that's it. Is that early season last year when I started on May 1st? Come to find out, Chris had said, "Well, you could have showed up April 15th. That's when I unlocked the gate." Oh well, thanks for telling me.
Right. Really good at that.
But that I do remember is you got the diehards. You get a few of them that they're there the first couple of weekends or so before Memorial Day weekend, and I get a kick out of the diehards, man, because usually it's chilly.
It usually is.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Anthony. So, as you were telling me, there's a very good possibility you're going to be teaching at a different school.
There is.
And did you say science?
Yes, it will be actually exclusively science. Right now I'm in a charter school. I teach a little bit of everything.
Yeah, yeah, it's almost like general study. You do
Yeah, but it's everything, but it's all integrated into projects and
right.
stuff like that. Which is, don't get me wrong, I love what I do.
You're good at the way you do it now.
Yeah, and on a whim, just because there's always opportunities to go out there and learn new things and try new things.
Yeah.
Some of the districts around where I am have been posting for science teacher positions. Well, I'm licensed for science, so I thought, let's throw my name into the hat and see what happens. Well, it just so happens that the district that I applied to, I hit the submit button at about 4:00 on Wednesday. By 5:00 that same evening, I had gotten a phone call to schedule an interview. That next evening, I had the interview. It was an hour and a half long interview, and it was a great interview. I had a blast. The superintendent and the dean of students. The superintendent's also the principal, and then the dean of students was there as well. Both great people. We shared some laughs. It was a good interview. Basically, a good conversation. They gave me a list of the questions they were going to ask, so there were no surprises coming.
Sure.
And they gave me a tour. They showed me where my classroom would be, and I would have windows. I don't have windows right now.
Oh, really?
Yes, I would have windows. I mean, that just about sold it right there. I mean, I got
windows. Wow, you can glance out and say,
I can look outside and see it snowing or raining whatever.
I can lose myself for 2 or 3 minutes,
They're doing it. I'm just going to look outside for a second.
Yeah, no kidding.
And smell the fresh air. I mean, granted, where I am right now, I go out to the school forest pretty much every day.
Yeah, but still, from the classroom, the view of just being able to see outdoors makes a big difference.
Right. So I was left with the impression that I would get a phone call Friday. So all day Friday, every chance I get, I'm checking. Do I have a missed call? Nothing. I'm walking to my truck at 3:50. The camper's hooked up to it. I'm going out to Black Lake. Phone rings. It's not the district this time. It's a private number.
Oh.
And I thought, I recognize this number. And it was the superintendent said, I like to make the people that I have no doubts about that I'm going to offer a job to wait. Just because, just sow those seeds of doubt. And I can hear him as he says it. He said, in reality, he just didn't want to interrupt my day.
Sure.
I want to offer you the position, and it'll be at the rate we discussed, which is actually higher than what I will be making next year if I stay where I am. Mm-hmm. So that was my weekend. I spent the whole weekend doing some soul searching and trying to decide, do I want to actually accept this offer? I've got until 4:00 tomorrow afternoon to decide. And I talked to my current principal. He talked to the superintendent to see if they have any interest in matching this offer. And now I'm just kind of waiting.
Awesome. It looks pretty hopeful. Hey, Rebecca.
But I got to share something with you here, Sty. Let's see if this actually works. Okay, you should see something down in the basement to pull up.
Check this out, folks.
That damn Honda.
Listen to that.
This is after running for about 10 minutes with about a 200-watt load.
Do you have a shovel we can use?
What do they need the shovel for? Were they going to bury the Honda?
No, they were digging worms.
You got a shovel we can use? It'd be a lot easier to bury that Honda if we had a shovel. I tell you, folks, Travis and I were talking about it, and the Forest Service, they have Honda generators, and they like to provide a generator to their hosts, and they offered me one last year, and I said, no, I got a brand new Predator. I'm going to use that. I said, I really want to see how it performs for the season. Boy, my Predator got a lot of hours. Boy, it really did. And it performed so well. Oh, God, lordy.
I got one.
I only got mine because of this guy. He had one the year before, and I'm out there camping, and he's talking about his Predator, and I go down to his campsite, and I go, is that thing running? I love his generator. Well, then I had enough of a windfall that I jumped in right up to my chin, ran way the heck down, halfway down state to buy the one because they were sold out everywhere. And I get down there, and yeah, they still had 3. And boy, not anymore. You just lost one. And well, would you like to know anything about it? I said, I don't need to know anything about it. I know everything about it, and I can see the box has never been opened. We're good. Just get it in the back of my truck. Well, I love that generator. I just love it. But the Forest Service, okay, you're paying more than double, almost 2.5 times the same dollars for a generator that's actually 500. The Predator's a 35, the Honda's a 3. You're paying 2.5 times more for the Honda. Every Honda the Forest Service has seems to have issues. I mean, they all seem to constantly have issues. That Predator, without a hiccup, for the full 6 months, I've ran that thing about every 2 days, and for anywhere from 2 to 8 hours a day, and flawless.
Well, I mean, let's even add some context to what they mean by they always have problems. So they've got 2 of those 3,000 watters, and then they've got a couple of little briefcase 2,000 watters. I've never
the 2000s. Yeah, a few of the campers last summer had the Honda 2000s. I didn't like them because they're
louder.
I was going to say they're. And talking to one of the guys, he said, "Yeah, they're 18 decibels higher than the 3000."
Yep.
And I told him, I said, "Well, that makes them probably about 24 to 26 decibels higher than the Predator."
Yeah, because I still think the Predators are quieter.
I
started out the year with what I've affectionately nicknamed "fell off the truck."
Fell off the truck. It looked beat up too.
It did. It's got a hole in the side of one of the plastic covers. I mean, it looked beat up, and it wasn't right. So I brought my Predator out. Chris took it to a shop, and it was gone for like 3 weeks while they got a part for it.
Uh-huh.
I got it back, ran flawlessly. I don't know what Chris had to pay to get it fixed, but it ran flawlessly. I took my Predator home.
Uh-huh. Just in time to bring it back?
Just in time to bring it back because Daryl was having problems with the one that I have now.
Yeah.
I've nicknamed
they swapped out, and you got stuck with the bummer.
So they took fell off the truck to Day Lake and gave it to Daryl, and they took piece of junk and they shoved it in a shed. And they don't keep track of which one's which. Yeah. Daryl got fell off the truck this year, which is fine. He needs one that runs. I got piece of junk, and I looked at my Predator when I was packing up the Thursday to go, and I said, "No, Chris says there's a generator there. He swears to me on a stack of Bibles they've been gone through and running fine. I'm going to leave the Predator."
Yeah.
Never should have done that.
You should have brought it with just in case.
I'm bringing it next weekend. If piece of junk is there, I'm ignoring it. I will shove it in a corner somewhere and ignore it.
I found there was something about the fact all I had to do was walk around to the back of my trailer,
push a button,
and instantly that puppy's running, and it's running smooth, and off I go, do whatever I need to do. Mm-hmm. Never, ever did I have one worry with the Predator. Hey, Mystic Bunny. Hey, it's great to see you, Jan, sweetie.
Oh,
but yeah, I was wondering. That was one thing I was wondering is if you were going to give one of the Hondas a chance.
What it's doing is exactly what Daryl complained about last year. It would run for 15, 20 minutes and die. And that's what he was running into.
And you have to let it sit and rest before it'll fire again.
Well, and I found I could get it to run maybe about 30 minutes if I pulled the choke about halfway out when it starts surging. I think what it is is it's got to have a fuel filter in line somewhere that's partially plugged, and the bowl is running out of fuel.
It sounds like it's starving itself for fuel, and that would be because there's not a good free fuel flow to the bowl, and if it accelerates up, it'll start eating that bowl up.
Yep.
And when it runs down, it's womp 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 until it can.
Fuel, but not enough.
Yeah.
One time it ran for 45 minutes this weekend. It almost died at like 25 minutes. It went, it sounded like it was done. And then it caught and it took off and it ran for another 20 minutes. And I'm like,
yeah.
Ooh, jam.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you what, that girl, her and John, they can can and pickle stuff so great. They gave me so many. They gave me salsa. They gave me pickles. I still have. I ended up with 8 or 9 jars of things from them, and I still got, I believe, 4 that I haven't opened yet. Because of my eating problems, I'm saving those till after my surgery and when I'm allowed to eat solids again, because they were so doggone good. Oh, they were good. They do such an excellent job. They made these spicy pickles that, I'd put them on a burger. They were just to die for. Oh God, they were, yeah. No, they do an excellent job. Excellent job.
No, it was a fun weekend. Other than fighting with the generator and not getting enough sun to keep up with the fact that I had to run the furnace both nights. That too. I was wondering that the nights have been pretty dang chilly, man. They've been pretty chilly. The furnace keeps up. That's not a problem. It's just propane that I burned through in the battery.
Yeah.
I gave up trying to charge the battery when I got it to 80%. I said, it's going to be sunny on Monday. It'll top off then.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty nice Monday and Tuesday, and then rain Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah. Hey, Justin, no. I'll give you guys an update on me here this evening yet. I got to kind of keep track of the time. Well, I'll give you guys a quick update. It's not like there's a ton to update you on anyway. But, okay, starting tomorrow, counting tomorrow, I have 18 more days of chemo and radiation. I have no problems with chemo. In fact, my last 3 chemo sessions are my best days. After my chemo, I spent 7 hours at the cancer clinic and get all my chemo taken care of, visit with 2 different doctors, and get my radiation. And I'd come home and I'd put in 4 hours out here working in the yard or doing something, you know. Mondays have been my best days, and I thought for sure they'd be the worst because they're socking me with so much chemo. Well, it's not the chemo. I'm not having the side effects. Well, I'm having one side effect from the chemo. I'll get to that. But it's not like a ouch kind of side effect, you know. So, but it's the radiation. The radiation is taking its toll. I have a lot of discomfort down in the esophagus right now, constant. I was telling Travis, I hope I can make my 2 hours tonight, but the esophagus is very uncomfortable. It's just, not a good feeling. I had a very long video appointment with the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. They're the ones that'll do the surgery at the end of all of this. They said, you have what we call radiation internal sunburn.
Ooh, you didn't tell me that part.
They said, does it feel kind of hot, discomforting, kind of hot? I said, yeah. And they said, kind of like a sunburn that you can't see it as much as you can feel it. I said, yeah, that pretty well describes it. And that's when they told me that's what we call radiation internal sunburn. They said, what's happening? Because now Thursday night, I ate food throughout the day. Thursday night, I took a little container of yogurt and half a teaspoon is all I put in my mouth. And it triggered my esophagus. And for 2.5 hours, I was regurgitating clear fluids constantly. And running water can vouch for it. I would run to the restroom and regurgitate half a cup of fluid. I come back in here, sit on the couch, put my feet up on the recliner, put the feet down, get up and go right back in. That's how long it would take for it to re-trigger and fill my esophagus with fluid. So I felt like I was drowning for 2.5 hours unless I could cough that fluid out. It was terrible. It was a Thursday night. It was terrible. I got about 2 to 3 hours of sleep Thursday night. Went through my chemo on Friday. Had another event Friday night. It wasn't as long, only about an hour long. And then last night, the day went so well. Running Water and I had projects we did. And then the day went so well that last night we're sitting here playing PlayStation and just kicking back, relaxing. And I was just drinking some flavored water, just a sip, and it triggered it. And it was late. It was after 2:00 in the morning. And I was regurgitating fluid till 3:30. So that symptom has come back. What they're saying is that the radiation has inflamed my esophagus and it's swelling. It's got inflammation and it's swelling. Well, that it restricts it, the diameter. Well, mine is only about 30% of yours, of a normal esophagus to start with, because of the tumor. Now with the inflammation, it's closing it back up. So that's what's happening. It's not going to go away. It's going to keep doing that for the next 2.5 weeks. Probably closer to 3.5 weeks. They said it'll take about a week after the treatments end before that starts to relax again and the inflammation goes out. So it hasn't been an enjoyable week since Thursday night. Yeah, in fact, Thursday night's event, if you were here Thursday night for the live stream, it was a great live stream. We had a great time. I think we went 2.5 hours. It was long. It was a good long one. It was after that I had that event, and then it was just terrible. But I had this appointment with the Mayo Clinic. Oh, I got to bring this guy up, guys, before I finish telling you quick. Look at this guy. Hey, look at the company you got.
Yeah, I'm at a wedding, so I just wanted to come up here, give some love to you, sir. Sorry I wasn't able to jump up. I got to get up at 3. I'm an hour away from home. I mean, you're amazing.
I'm waving to you ladies. The hell with him.
All right, Sty, you take it easy, sir.
You enjoy yourself, and congratulations to the bride and groom. And
yeah, that's these guys. Should I go do it? There's the bride.
Should I go do it?
They're over there.
There they are. There you go. Yeah.
Right here. But I don't want to take over on your channel here, sir. Hey, you take care. Have a fabulous week. I hope you're doing well.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too, man. You guys take care. Everybody in the chat, have a fabulous week.
Yeah.
See you next time.
You bet. Gosh. Yeah, I felt bad. I didn't catch his stream yesterday morning. What he was cooking yesterday. It was ill. I slept in yesterday. I slept in today too.
Good for you. I tried. Teal had other
I-
ideas.
I only got 5.5 hours of sleep last night, but I slept in. I didn't get up until 10 this morning, so that means I didn't fall asleep until
Hell, I had
4:30.
reservations done by then.
Oh, I bet you did. I bet you did.
For a mess. Sty, I got to tell you, if you were hosting this year, be thankful you're not. The number of cancellations already is insane.
Really?
Pulled 12 cards down that were cancellations.
Wow.
Right now, I'm 2/3 empty for Memorial Day.
Really? Last year we were all full up. And, yeah. I mean, East Twin was full. Beaver Lake was full. I was sending them down to Day Lake. That Day Lake was the only overflow I had available because everybody else is full.
You might be right, Justin. Gas prices might be part of it.
Yeah.
When I left town with the camper, gas was $4.30. I got back on Sunday for $49. Yeah.
Ours here.
Oh, don't even. I was in Ashland
yesterday.
Island on Wednesday, and I saw the holiday station at 411.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah. I think yesterday it was 427. So that's kind of our peak rate that we've seen now is 427. But
22 cents higher.
Yeah, isn't that insane?
And
45 minutes down the road.
You want to ship me some gas?
They love to use that argument on me because even over at Iron River it'll be 11 cents a gallon cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them, oh, whoa, what? Why? I want to know why. Transportation costs they use. And I said, okay, now you can really kiss my hiney because over here, there's a gas station by 169 that heads south to Mellon off of Highway 2. Mm-hmm. It's just outside the reservation. They were 9 cents a gallon cheaper.
Yep.
So they're cheaper on that side of me, and they're cheaper on that side of me. In the middle, it's transportation costs that drive the price up. No, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, Justin, that's why I'm glad I don't have a diesel right now.
That's it. And I was so close when I got the King Ranch. I was so close I had an opportunity to get a truck with a diesel in it, and I damn near did. And right now I'm just thankful I didn't.
I looked at a couple of diesels before I bought this one, and I'm just.
I like the diesel. I like the torque of a diesel. I like the longevity of that engine. But boy, oh boy, where fuel's going, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. It's almost $1 a gallon cheaper. I was filling my truck Thursday, and one of my students came up to me, "Oh, you do exist in the wild?" I said, "Yes, I do." "What you doing?" "Well, obviously, I'm filling my truck. I'm going to go camping. I don't want to have to come here with the camper behind me." And he glanced over at the pump, and it was already at $60. And he went, "How high is that going to go?" I said, "I'm expecting 110 to 120.
Yeah. Well, my truck was at just a hair under a quarter of a tank, $96.
I was 108. I was a hair over a quarter.
That's nuts.
It is what it is. It
It
doesn't pay a piss and moan. There's nothing I can do about it except pay for it.
Well, see, and that's it, though. You're right. It is what it is. And if you want gas, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, I'm just going to eat it instead of steak.
But it's leaving a lot of people making choices to do things they don't want to do, and that's skip out on that little weekend trip, or we're just going to give that stuff up, and it's a shame. It's a shame. Hey, Highwood Mike, good to see you, buddy.
It's even factoring into what we were talking about earlier with that offer.
Yeah,
the district is an 8-mile drive versus the mile I drive right now.
Right. So
difference, but it's enough when you're driving a 3/4 ton truck.
Well, and with what they're offering you, the increase.
Yep.
That makes it worth it because there's still gonna be some net. The gas isn't gonna eat the whole thing up.
Yeah, if they were only matching next year's salary, then I'd stay where I'm at, but they're going to beat it.
Uh-huh. So yeah, I think you're good to go.
I think I am too.
I wish you the best of luck, pal. I really
Thank
do.
you. It's going to be a busy summer of redesigning pretty much everything,
Yeah.
but that's all
Yeah.
right. It's something to do on a rainy day.
Well, yeah, and treat it as a project and as an adventure. It's something new, like you were saying. You saw the opportunity, and yeah, something interesting, a change.
Well, when they asked me why I wanted to leave my existing district, I said, don't get me wrong. I like where I am. I like what I'm doing.
Right.
But I like to learn new things. And I'm not saying I know everything there is to know about where I am right now. But what I want to do is take what I learned being outside the box and try to apply it to an inside the box situation. Don't be surprised if once I'm back in that box, I start punching holes in it. There is a fee with the Forest Service, but I don't think up here it's $7. I think it's $1.50.
Yeah. I think it's $1.50 service fee. And basically, I don't have a problem with the Forest Service requiring that you reserve certain campsites.
No, I don't either.
What I don't like is when we get a campground where it's got one or two. You got a campground with 20 campsites, and you got one or two non-reservables that it's first come, first serve. You pull in, it's empty, take it.
Right.
I'd like to see that policy being a 50-50 split. And if anything, if they're going to have first come, first serve, the one campground I had last year, Beaver Lake, I loved it because I had two sites on the lake that were non-reservable. The first one there could take it, and people loved that. They just loved it. Those sites had someone in them every single day because they were non-reservable, and people would drive through and say, look at the beautiful lake site, and it's non-reservable, it's empty, we'll take it. And guess what? We'll stay an extra 2 nights, I love that. But where I like the reservations, and I've run into it, is it takes a lot of argument out of things.
It does.
I mean, you don't get campers. You don't get
of our problems as hosts.
Yeah, you don't get campers battling each other. It's just, oh, my name's on the pole, man. That's mine, And there's no doubt, right? And if there is a doubt, at least you got a host or a Forest Service ranger to go to and say, hey, here's my reservation, man. And they'll see to your needs. They'll get you in a good site. That they better, because we do in our forest. We make darn sure the customer, we exceed their expectations.
A lot of times, if I have a no-show on a weekend that I know is going to be busy, or a cancellation on a weekend that I know that's going to be busy, if it's a lakeside site, I'll leave the card hanging. Just hold that site open for the inevitable rec.gov screw up.
Right.
Because I've had to give a cancellation away a couple of times because rec.gov screwed up.
Yep. That's it. And that's another thing about the shortfall of the reservation system is rec.gov can screw that up, and
I don't know how they're doing it.
That causes issues.
Well,
it's that time I have to do the Sty Story, and look at that, sweetie. Oh, it's good to see you, girl.
Hi.
Hi. Gosh. I wish I could be out at camp.
See you later, Peanut. Go to bed.
I'll throw out real quick before I do the Sty Story. The one symptom the side effect I didn't tell you guys about that is shown up now. Literally, when I brush my beard in the morning, I end up with a full handful of beard hair.
No.
I'm starting to lose the beard. It's just barely, but it's noticeably thinner in the last 5 days. So it's going a lot quicker than I thought it would.
That's-
We'll see where it goes. I'm not shaving it off.
Like
We're just going. I told Running Water last night. I said, "Hey, my audience is just going to have to watch Sty transform
yes.
from the outdoorsman to Amish." I mean,
Oh.
it's a miracle, man. Do you see how he transformed himself into an Amish man? I said, the only problem I have is, where the heck am I going to find a horse and buggy in Ashland, Wisconsin? Yeah.
I got to tell you, Mike, it's not actually the computers that are messing up rec.gov. It's the operators.
Yeah. Yep.
People are calling in to make a reservation, and they're going, "What do you mean that site's not available?" Oh, well,
Right.
4-day.
They are not computer errors, and we've proven that they're not
They're
computer errors.
overriding that 4-day window.
Yep. An individual is going in and altering reservations, and they're not supposed to touch it. I mean, there are specific rules they're supposed to follow, and they're breaking them. We caught them last year.
We've proven it.
Yeah, we proved it. We proved it.
Report, here's today's.
Yeah, it wasn't a computer error, because I had a report where it showed an individual their reservation, and when they're coming to that campsite, right, the following day it didn't even show their reservation, as if they've never registered before, right?
Yep, they canceled.
But within hours, they were back on there with a new reservation date.
Yep.
But that individual shows up with their receipt, printed it off, paid.
Yep.
For the original dates. Somebody at rec.gov altered it and put somebody else in their site.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to try to juggle that and satisfy both campers. I was lucky that I had a site, a beautiful lake site, that was not reserved at the time for their stay for both of them. And where it got weird is now the guy that originally should have had that site gets there and finds somebody else on his site. He wants the site I'm at, because he says the site you're willing to give one of us is better than this site. The other guy says, "No, I'm the guy that's butting in. I should get that site." So I had to have the two of them work that out amongst themselves. Who gets the other site? I don't care which one of you gets it, but you each got a site. Please, be friendly and work on. And they did. They worked.
Most of the time, you throw them a coupon for the inconvenience, and they're fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was amazed last year. I only put out 6 coupons last year.
I had some major mess ups though, and Chris.
Yeah, you had some bad things you had to deal with.
I would tell Chris about it. He said,
you did the right thing."
I said I gave out 3 coupons to this guy. He was hotter than hell, and when I described the situation, he's like, "First of all, that's our screw up, and secondly, thank you for fixing it."
That's it. Yep. Fun as a campground host. I really don't know if I'll be able to host again next year or not, but if I can't, I'm going to be staying in all of our campgrounds, Chequamegon Forest. I want to hit every campground.
Except for maybe Namakogan.
No, I want to do it for what that campground is. That's, see what I want to experience every campground. What's the difference? Kind of approach. And so I would have to do Namakogan to be fair,
Yeah.
And I know I wouldn't enjoy it like I do the other campgrounds, but
electrified loop.
If it's a good weather spell and I can paddle out on my kayak and do a little fishing, get away from the rat race of the campground there, I think it'd be okay.
I got
Native Kutsa, sweetheart, it's good to see you. She's keeping her eyes on us.
Oh boy, she better, because I just found out I am getting a truck. It was being
You are.
for a while.
Yeah.
Yep. They sent me a text Thursday or Friday. He said, "You're getting a truck. It might get pulled from you. I have no idea what shape it's in. We might have to swamp it out." His exact words: "Swamp it out."
Yeah, it's one of those trucks where probably a kind of little more irresponsible crew was in, and they filled it full of mud, garbage,
Yep,
all their snack wrappers and everything else. And yeah,
I'm getting another 3/4 ton. This one's an F-250.
Okay, good. That'll handle the water tank.
My water buffalo will be in it. I should have it by Friday.
Awesome. The thing is you will see me this summer, Travis.
I know I will.
Because
if you don't come to me, I knock on your door.
My treatment ends on June 8th. That's the last day I have a treatment. From then, we're looking at 4 to 8 weeks before they'll even schedule my surgery.
Okay.
Because they want that recovery period. And the Mayo Clinic they want 8 weeks if possible. They said, we want you as healthy as possible when you come in for that surgery.
Makes sense.
So we want all of the toxins out of your body, blah, 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 blah. Well, during that 2-month period, I'm going to come down to take road trips down, visit, man, catch you guys and just hang out for a few hours.
Well, just let me know when you're coming, and I'll have my truck break down on a site for you, and I'll have a coupon waiting for you.
Oh no, I won't be spending the nights.
Oh, come on.
No, my health even then won't allow for it.
Well, the offer's there if you change your mind.
Yeah. I thought of that too. I just know doggone well if I were to call Chris and say, "Hey, Chris, can I get 3 nights at such a campground?" I know he'd probably go put a road barrier across the driveway into it. Yeah, you can have it.
Like I said, I'll just have my truck break down on the site.
Yeah. Oh, it's occupied, ain't it?
Anything like that Ram I had last year, everybody believed me. That thing was broken down all kinds of times.
Yeah. Sure was. Well, I got to get this story talking about.
I got to get back to work, so I'm going to say, have a great week.
Yes, and
I'll keep up to date on my adventure.
You bet. Yeah. Tag me with some messages occasionally, and just update me.
I will.
It makes me feel good to just read your message. Like I said, I knew all about your school thing. It changes because of your message. So I was prepared for our conversation. So, hey, buddy, love to your family. Hey,
yeah.
Make sure they know it.
Running water as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And we'll see you again real soon.
Absolutely. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay. It's time for the Sty Story, folks. It's time. It's late. We're running late, 15 minutes late on the Sty Story. But here we go. We're going to get the Sty Story out of the way tonight. I drew this one out of the hat literally about half hour before I posted the stream for tonight. I ran that in my random generator, and this one popped up, and I go, well, this one's kind of funny. I like the more lighthearted kind of stories, at times. Today I'm feeling so tired and fatigued that, lighthearted stories. It's fitting. So here we go. This story goes back to about 1976, right around there. My ex-wife and I, we had our first apartment. We got married and got our first apartment. I worked for a big corporation, a very small job in a big corporation. I worked for Tonka Toys. Yes, Tonka Toys. Everybody knows what Tonka Toys is, right? I worked for Tonka Toys. Well, it's not to diss Tonka Toys at all. They didn't pay that well. They really didn't. And I worked assembly for them. I built mighty dump trucks. I built the mighty road grader. I would rivet smaller trucks together on a spot riveter, and then I spot welded the frames for the mighty bulldozer. That's the kind of work I did. Assembly line kind of work, piecework. Put out as many as you can a shift, Well, we weren't a union shop or anything, so they really pushed us to put as much out as we possibly could. Well, it wasn't a lot of money I was making. It was enough to pay the bills, just pay the rent, pay the bills, put groceries on the table. Nothing, no extras. So you did what you had to do, and the ex-wife and I were happy with where we were at. We always assumed things are going to get better, always. Well, not having much of an income really affected on what kind of vehicle you owned, right? Well, we owned an old, I believe it was a 1967 Plymouth Valiant. Ugly car. Gosh, dang, that thing was ugly. It was kind of a sky blue, and it was rusty. But it ran really good. Gosh, it ran so good. That car never left me stranded. Fire right up, take me anywhere I want to go. And we went all over. Boy, we were traveling to Wisconsin from Minnesota in it all the time and back. Great old car. Took me to work and back every day, 5 days a week. And then to weekend jobs I would do. Very dependable old car. Well, when you ain't got the money, you just can't afford things. So I had like 4 spare tires in the trunk because the 4 tires on the car are ready to go blow out any day. They're just going to go flat on you. So you carried 4 other really bad tires, but they held air in the trunk just in case, because you seem to have to change a flat every week or 2. Yeah, times were tough, but they were good too. Well, my shift at Tonka Toys, I got off work at 1:30 in the morning. I'd jump in that old blue Plymouth and take off for home. I go strutting out. We lived on the 3rd floor, no elevators in that building. Hike up them stairs, walk in the door, and I go, "Well, sweetie, you ready for supper?" Well, that was my dinner time because of the shifts I worked. I ate my dinner at about 2:30 in the morning. And it was very common because it wasn't that expensive. We'd jump in that car and we'd go to Country Kitchen restaurant if it was open. They typically closed ours at 1 o'clock, so a lot of times they were closed. Or the Perkins. Well, the Perkins was a little farther down the way, and it took about a 15-minute drive to get to Perkins. Well, gas was cheap back then. I think I was paying 42 cents a gallon at the most. So gas wasn't an issue back then. I know it is today. But almost every early morning after work, we jump in the car and go to one of those 2 restaurants to eat. I didn't expect my ex-wife to fix dinner at 1:30 in the morning, have it ready for me when I get home from work. There were times she did, though. Their dinner beat, boy, she'd have her all done, ready to go. But there were those days where she hit the rack, went to bed, and I'd wake her up and say, hey, let's go to dinner. Well, one night, a couple of our friends had asked earlier in the day, hey, can we get together with you guys when Sty gets off work? When you guys go to dinner, we'll come with you and we'll have a bite to eat, blah, blah, blah. We'll meet up there. And we said, yeah, okay. We hadn't seen them in quite a while. Hadn't seen them in months. And we were excited. We get to hang out with our friends, right? We get dressed to go out on town, because I come from the factory. I'm nasty. I take a quick shower, put some fresh clothes on, and boom, we're in the car, out of there. Now, this isn't freeway driving. This is small county roads. And we lived around this huge lake. And it's these weavy roads around all the bays of the lake and crosses bridges and around and around. And about 10 minutes down the road, there's a little community called Shorewood, Minnesota. Well, Shorewood, you come down the county road, and right in Shorewood, there's no stop sign, but there's a 4-way intersection. If you're coming into Shorewood, you get to go straight ahead, left or right. You've got the right of way. Well, at that intersection, if you pulled up to that intersection, immediately across the intersection to the left is a gas station, right? And they got all their gas pumps out there, blah, blah, blah. There's a gas station. And my ex-wife is hounding me. They're waiting for us at the restaurant. You drug your feet, taking your shower. You're taking so long. We're going to be so late. They're going to leave. They're not going to hang around to visit with us. I said, we'll get there. We'll get there. I can't go, but just so fast. The cops will get us, I was standing on it too. Well, I was really pushing. I was probably doing 25, 30 over the speed limit. We get to that intersection. We got to take a 90-degree turn to the left. Like I said, right across the corner there is the gas station. We get to that intersection. I told her, if you're in such a doggone hurry, you had better hang on, because I ain't slowing down for that corner. We got up there, and I just cranked the wheel. And that old car, you could hear it as I'm coming around that 90-degree turn, probably doing about 40 miles, 45 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, and I'm looking off towards the gas station, because in my mind I'm thinking, on the way home, I should probably stop and fill the car. So I'm looking off towards the gas station. And she goes, whose wheel is that? And I looked at her, I go, what? And she points out the windshield. And she goes, look, whose wheel is that? And I looked, and we're still taking that corner, just sharp, hard. And I go, holy smokes, here's a tire on the rim, and it's rolling right down the center of our lane, heading down the direction we're going to go, all by itself, going down the road. And it's going, and it's going fast. Well, when I asked what wheel she was talking about, I didn't realize it was ours. The front tire, the front wheel on our Plymouth Valiant, the wheel bearing went out. It slid off the spindle of the front end of the car and took off on its own down the damn highway. And I was taking that corner so hard, all the way to the car was to the opposite side, so the front end stayed up in the air. Didn't hit the ground. It stayed up until I started straightening the car out. Once I straightened the car out, the front end hit the ground on that side. There's no wheel. Front end hit the ground. The front hub caught, and it whipped us hard to the right. And here we go. We went right into that gas station. I killed a garbage can. That's all that happened, was I killed a garbage can. I went right between two gas pumps, hit the garbage can, sent that bugger flying across their pull-in area, and it hit the front of their gas station store. And there I sat up on top of that concrete that the pump sat on, with a pump off each side of us. You couldn't get the doors open. If I would have been 1 foot left or right, I would have taken a gas pump off. Gas would have been everywhere. Could have had a fire explosion. Well, I don't know why I panicked. I crawled over the driver's seat into the back, popped the back door open. It was a 4-door car. Popped the back door open, and I jumped out, and I'm running down that road. And my ex-wife's wondering, what the heck? He's gone nuts. He's running down the damn road. Well, fortunately, this is like 2:30 in the morning, right? It's fortunate and could be misfortunate. But I'm running down the road, and there I see the tires laying in the center of the road. And there's a couple cars coming, and they had to go kind of around it, you know. And I get up to the tire, and I reach down in. The brake drum is still on the wheel. And I reached down and I grabbed that wheel from the inside, burnt my hand so bad. Oh man, you could hear it. Psst. That's how hot it had gotten. Let go of it, stood it up by the rubber, you know, and here I am rolling that dang tire almost 2 blocks all the way back to where the car is stuck between these gas pumps. I get there, and out of the garage that's attached to this gas station, a tow truck backs out, and he backs right around, gets up behind my car. It's the owner of the gas station. He's got a towing service. He's going to tow my car out from between his pumps. He got the car out of there. We looked at the front end, and he says, I think you're in luck. He went in his garage and looked. Sure enough, he had a set of wheel bearings for that Plymouth. And he says, let's get the wheel back on it. Well, because the brakes just went to pieces. All of a sudden, my car ain't got no brakes. So he pinched off the brake line, put brake fluid in it, pinched off the brake line, and got me enough brakes that I could drive it. Guess what? We continued on. This took about 45 minutes to an hour to deal with this. And we drove on, and we went to Perkins and met up with our friends. And one of those friends just happened to be a master mechanic for GM, for General Motors. And I explained to him what just happened. And he kind of chuckled. He went out and he looked at the car, come back in. He said, you should not have come to the restaurant. You should have gone straight home with that dang thing. He said, you'll be lucky to even still have brakes now by the time you get home. If you would have gone straight home, you would have had brakes to get you home. But I don't know. I think you're going to lose all your brake pressure by the time you get home. Well, he was right. When we got home, I pulled into our parking area. Boy, did I hit the curb hard because the car wasn't stopping. But that's the way things happen. When you're driving along, you might think your car is great, man. That thing starts and runs like $1,000,000. Everything's cherry and cool. And then somebody says, well, whose wheel is that? And you're going to say something like I did. What wheel? The one that used to be on my car. Nope, there it goes down the road. It was heading for the restaurant. The heck with us. Let them people hang out at the gas station. I'm going to the restaurant. That could have been such a major accident. Could have been terribly major accident. But it turned out to be quite funny. In the long run, it was quite funny. I got the car, I got the parts, and got the front end fixed. You know, I did it at home myself. I had to walk to work for a couple of days, but I got it squared away, you know. But that's the way life was. You took what you got and you made the best of it. And then laugh when things just, you know, it didn't go to heck because I knew it would. It went to heck because it went to heck. And a lot of people said, well, didn't you hear that wheel bearing grinding or something? Actually, no. Both me and the ex-wife were adamant to them people. No, there was never an odd sound, nothing. And never pulling to the side, which usually happens. There was no explanation why that wheel bearing blew up. In fact, I pulled the one on the other side of the car when I replaced the driver's side. I pulled that wheel, pulled the hub, checked the wheel bearing. Looked like it was brand new. It was tight as could be. And when I pulled it off and checked them, repacked them with grease, they looked like they were brand new. And that hub spun nice and free, everything. Yeah. So why that one? It was probably a defect or something in it, but yeah, there's no warning. It's no warning at all. You just have to be prepared for the unpreparable. So there you go. What wheel? That wheel. The one going to town without me. You betcha. There's your story for the week. Love you guys. Hey, I see out there, I see Mariah Wilkes showed up. Yo, how you doing? But then pops up, this is Joey. Well, hi, Joey. That's my grandson. And then Jasmine Feddings jumps in and says, hey, Grandpa, guess what? I wonder if you can figure out she's my granddaughter. Then, here we go. Then Mariah Wilkes pops up again with a $2 super chat. Oh, all right. Is that Joey spending Grandma's money? Thank you. Whoever of the two of you did it, thank you. That is great of you. Thank you very much. That's cool. But it's still got me curious. Yeah. Love you too. Love you too there, Joey. Yeah. Great kids. Great kids. Justin says, I put a car through the garage door once, hit the pedal, no brakes. Yikes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, fun. I've got another one that I got two more car failures that I got Sty Stories for that were, the incident wasn't, at the moment, wasn't funny, but after the fact, it was pretty funny. Thanks, Justin. Justin says, great story. Plano Chuck says, not my wheel. Yeah. Hey, look at here. Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. It is so good to see you, Richard. Oh, I do keep tabs on you. I'm a lurker, Richard. I'm a lurker. I'll admit it. He says, Sty, how you been? I don't think Richard's aware. Yeah, Richard, I have stage 3 esophageal cancer. I'm going through treatments right now, radiation and chemotherapy. I'll be done with it June 8th. And then 2 months later, well, from 1 to 2 months later, they'll be doing surgery and removing the tumor, a couple inches of my esophagus, and about the top 20 to 25%, they're talking, of my stomach now. And then they reattach it. And then I got 6 to 8 weeks of recovery with a stinking feeding tube through my side, what they call a J tube. They're actually talking about giving me a J tube here within a couple of weeks if I keep losing weight. I lost another 3 pounds. I came down to 160 pounds. I got myself up to 169, but now I lost all of that. 9 pounds. Well, now here in the last 5 days, I lost another 3 pounds. I'm down to 157. It's not good. They really want me over 175. I can't, and I'm getting close to and typically over 3,000 calories in me every day. But I'm just not gaining the weight. Yeah, Richard, they gave me a good prognosis. If I go through all this process and the surgery, they said that I should have, without a problem, an 80% chance of never seeing a reoccurrence. That I should never have that cancer reappear. So they consider it curable. And without this process, I would have actually, the end of this month would have been D-Day. They told me I'd have 30 to 60 days before I passed away if I did not address it right away, because I couldn't eat. I couldn't swallow. I couldn't eat. And I had gone that way for 10 months. I went from 220 pounds down to 141. Richard's saying you can have a bunch of pounds from me. I'd be glad to give it to you. I have a lot of people that are willing to donate. I mean, I wish I could do that for folks if that's what they really wanted to do, to accommodate them in their gift. I wish I could. Mystic Bunny says, I wish I could give you my extra weight. Yeah, I know. And I'll tell you what. If you want to lose weight, if you want to lose it, good for you. If that's what makes you happy. But I'll tell you what, if I was any one of you right now, at whatever your weights are, I would take that way before I take the weight I am now. Way too son. Oh, Michelle. Oh, it's so good to see you, girl. Oh my gosh. That's one sweet gal. She's sweet. I tell you what, that's Richard's much better half. Sorry, Richard. They love each other, and I love watching those two interact with each other. That's great. John says, I'd give you my extra, but I need to keep my figure. That's right. That's what I figure. There you go. Richard said, honestly, I don't really care to lose weight. I am very happy with what I have. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what counts. That's what really counts. Yes, Mr. Fulton, I put it up here so everybody saw it. Yep, Mr. Fulton's going to turn 23. Or no. Yeah, he's going to turn 23 on July 20th. Yeah, that's a couple months away, pal. Yep. 23. Holy smokes. That's all. It's almost only a third of my age. The Way Too Sons says, "You're too kind." I'm not being kind. I'm being real. Yeah. Yeah, Way Too Son. Yeah, that's the way I feel too. 23 is so young. Yeah. Richard doesn't even remember when he was 23. I can remember my 20s lumped all together, because between the age of 20 and 20, I'd say 25, 26, those years all just seemed like one event. I probably should have had just one birthday for all those years. Way Too Son says, at 23, I was not a nice girl at all. Yeah, when I was in my 20s. Some people thought I was a nice guy, but yeah. I'd say from the time I was 17 until I was about 26, those were my, that's the bad Sty years, da, 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 da. Yeah, that's, I didn't say it, but that's the way it was for me. There, Way Too Son. Alcohol was just, it was the norm. Yeah. And that's it, is when you sober up, all of a sudden you start thinking different and you start doing things different and having different approaches to things. And life changes. Time flies faster as we get older. That's no kidding. When they told me, they gave me the diagnosis. They said, they come in, they said, "Sty, we got bad news. Biopsies came back. You got stage 3 esophageal cancer." And they started out with, if we don't do something about it, you've got 30 to 60 days and they'll be holding a funeral for you. They were very honest with me, and I appreciated that. I told them, I said, well, okay, I guess it's time for me to make some plans, what I want to do with the time I got. And I said, it is what it is. And I said, I lived 65 years. I'm ready. If I got to go, I got to go. They couldn't believe that shit. They couldn't believe it. And then they said, hear us out. And then they talked about the plan that I'm under right now, the plan they were trying to develop to treat me. And I said, at the end of the day, I know you're going to put me through a lot of misery for about 6 months. It's going to be miserable. And it's starting to prove so. And I said, well, what's the end product? Really, what are you offering me? Right now, I know what part of the deal is, and that's I'm going to be sick and miserable for 6 months. What's the rest of the deal? What's the end product? They said, we can give you 5 to 20 additional years to your life if we do this. We're certain about the 5, and we're pretty certain about the 20. You could easily make 85 years old without a reoccurrence of the cancer. Now, I'm dead set against chemo and radiation. What am I doing today? I'm going through chemo and radiation. I said, if I get a sentence of 5 to 20 for 6 months of misery, I'll take it. If that's the sentence, I'll take it. You betcha. That gives me 5 to 20 more years to spend with you great folks. That's the way I see it, man. I see it that way. I really do. I get to enjoy Mother Nature for another 5 to 20. I get to enjoy all my dear YouTube friends for another 5 to 20. It's worth it. That this 6 months and the times that I really, really am feeling sick. There's only been a couple of incidents where I sort of felt down. Otherwise, I felt positive. I'm staying positive about this. I'm going to beat this shit. I don't care what anybody says. Can I ask what the plans are? The plans are that, okay, I go through the chemo radiation till the 8th of June. Then they want me to, the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, top of the line cancer folks. They're the best in the world, man. They accepted my case. My cancer team did not think Mayo would accept my case. And they said they'd take it because they need wins, is the way my surgeon put it. I need a win. And anytime I see a win, I want to grab it. And he says, I think you're a win. And I said, okay, cool. I'm good with it. Let's go. So anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks after my chemo and radiation has stopped, they will be doing surgery and removing about 2 inches of my esophagus and the top 20 to 25% of my stomach. Reattach those. 6 to 8 weeks recovery before I can eat again. I'll be feeding myself through what they call a J tube through my abdomen. Goes directly into your intestine. That's all. I'll be eating liquids through my intestines, not through my mouth and stomach. For 4 to 8 weeks. And yeah. And the prognosis is great. And my cancer team, they're just thrilled. Because I went through the first 3 weeks of my chemo and radiation. Now my chemo has been bumped up. They said you're getting 30% more chemo than we would normally administer, and 20% more radiation than they would normally administer, because they've got me on this high dose accelerated program to kill that tumor, get rid of it. Yeah. So I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Not to be nagging any, but are you going to try to stop smoking? Just know that it would help you heal so much better if you do. Wait, son. You're gonna. I bet you're chuckling over there when I say this. The Mayo Clinic will make me sign a non-smoker's disclosure. Okay. Before my pre-op. They won't do an operation on me unless I certify to them with a live signature on the statement that I am now smoke-free. You also agree to remain smoke-free for a minimum of 6 months after the surgery. That if you smoke and they find out about it, it says right in that agreement, it releases them from any kind of side effect the smoking may have on my recovery. So yeah, guess what? I've got about 2 months of smoking left, and then I got to stop. That's right. They have to guarantee their chances of best results. I understand. I understand where they're coming from and what they're saying. Yeah. And and like I said, they're just downright honest with me. The patch or the pill. I can't take the pill because it counteracts with some of the things I'm taking for the cancer. I can't, so I'm not allowed to use the pill. But the patch, I can't use the patch. Not because of anything medical. I've tried. I can put 10 of them damn things on me and it don't do no good. What it does is it makes me want to smoke more. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. If I tried vaping with a high nicotine vape, right? Oh no, I needed a real cigarette, man. It just drove me nuts. Drove me. If I was put in the hospital back March 27th and spent a whole full week in the hospital, didn't crave a cigarette one moment through that whole stay at the hospital. Cold turkey. They didn't give me nothing for it, nothing. So they're telling me, they said, we know how you dealt with it in the hospital. And I didn't want to remind them or inform them that when I had my open heart surgery 6 years ago, I went for a full week then without a single cigarette and didn't crave one, didn't say, hey, get me out of here. So, yeah, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I can't guarantee 100% that I can, but I'm determined. I think I can. Yeah, isn't that a little unusual? That how things affect different people. The gum, I'm not a gum chewer. I did try the lozenges, but again, if I'm getting a nicotine boost, it makes me want to smoke. When I was using the patch, when I go to sleep, I would dream about cigarettes, having a smoke. It was terrible. It was terrible. But if I go cold turkey, I don't have those urges. It's weird. You would have thought I would have quit many, many years ago with that, but I never tried it. So, yeah. Well, thanks, way too son. She says, well, I'm praying for you. Thank you. Thank you. They're not here at my desk. I've got 2 big bags of sugar-free Werthers, and I don't smoke as much off screen as I do on screen. When I'm streaming, I smoke like a chimney. But wait, son, no, I'm not too sweet to be going through this. Richard and I have talked about it, our past. We got some pretty rough spots in our past. We might seem like, we might seem like pretty okay guys today, but we just hope like heck some people don't find out about the real us in the past, Yeah. Werthers are the best. I love them. I love them. Mystic Bunny says, okay, my phone is about to be out of battery. Have a great rest of the night, Sty, everyone. We will. And you too. Have a great rest of the week. And if you're available, pop on in and lurk or hang out on Thursday around the campfire. Yeah. Yeah, way too son. We all have rough spots. Isn't that for sure? Yeah. If I personally was a road, guess what? Enjoy this nice smooth stretch of my road right now. because a lot of it was pretty damn rough. Uh-huh. The way too son. Sorry for dominating the conversation. No, you're not dominating nothing. Yeah. Yeah, Richard's saying I'm only okay because of way too son. I'd still be horrible if she hadn't entered my life. Isn't that something? That's why I mentioned earlier that, oh, it's so obvious, a love between you two. Yet you are so good for each other. You are so good for each other. It's the one thing over the years of knowing you that really stands out is that bond the two of you have. That takes some true love. Yeah. You can't buy that. That comes right from the heart. Hey, Tim, Kirk Whipper Voyager Center's in the house. Great to see ya. Yeah, Justin says some of it slips out in the stories. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Sty's rough road. Well, that's what creates some stories, It's what adds color, Wait, son, I love that. We are very proud of us. I love it. That's great. Hey, guys, I don't want anybody to go anywhere. There's a good group of folks hanging out here. I don't want anybody going anywhere. This only takes 50 seconds, but I have to pop it up somewhere in my live stream. These are my great channel members. I love these people. They've stuck with me for so long, but I have to shout them out. And it only takes 50 seconds, so don't go anywhere, and we'll chat a little more before I call it a night. Here we go. Yeah, they're a great bunch. Those folks. They've stuck with the channel. Very devoted folks. Wonderful people. But no more wonderful than you guys. I'd say that all the time. I have people say, "Oh, well, Sty, I wish I could be a member, but I can't quite." So no. I always tell people, memberships doesn't make my friends for me. No. I don't ever expect anybody to participate in the membership. That's your own personal choice. I can't incriminate myself, Justin Anderson. Wait, I'll probably get deleted. You guys are so funny. Way too son, I'm going back to this comment. This is a big deal, folks. This is a big deal. Way too son's telling Justin, I think we should all post stories on our channels. Now, you ever heard Samantha Lee's Come Meet Sty theme song that she did for me that I play before my live streams? It says right in that song, we all have a story. And I always want people to understand They wouldn't be who they are without stories. Every day has a story in it. I had someone say, well, I had a totally non-eventful day. Nothing happened all day. I did this, did that, normal stuff. Nothing happened at all that day, period. So there's no story to that day. I said, you just told me that story. You had a totally non-eventful. What was it like to have a day that there was nothing out of sorts, nothing that caught your interest? It was a nothing day. It was a total nothing. You told me about it. Guess what? You just told me your day's story. Every day of our lives holds a story. And all of those stories tell the tale of you. All of my stories I tell you folks are just fractions of my life, but they tell the tale of Sty North. And I agree with Way Too Son. We should all tell our stories. We should all tell some of our stories because it tells our tale of who we are. It really does. Here's Adam. Great to see you, Adam. JB Games. I've lurked for ages, but now I've got to go cook dinner. Take care, my friend. Thank you, Adam. Go have a good dinner, would you? I'm going to try to have a bowl of wild rice soup after the stream here. Yeah. I'm hoping I can get it down tonight. That'll give me another 500 calories. Still going to miss my 3,000 mark by about 2,000 calories today. Which is tough because tomorrow is my big day, cancer treatment day. 7 hours I spend in the cancer center on Mondays. 7-hour day. It's a bummer. But I leave on Mondays feeling really good after 7 hours because they pump me full of steroids, man. Yeah, they pump me full of steroids. It helps my immune system, keeps my metabolism up. So I feel pumped on Monday afternoons. Tomorrow, I have to real quick, Native Kutsa. Thanks, sweetheart. She's telling you all thanks for being here, supporting the way you do. That's, yeah. Nothing days are fun. We just had one a few days ago, literally laid around all day and didn't do a thing. Ain't those nice? That was most of today for us here. I got sick this afternoon for a small period of time, about a half hour, that's all. So that was kind of a hiccup in the day. But otherwise, my boy and I, Running Water and I, we just sat on the couch, kicking back, playing PlayStation. A little bit of a conversation about this and that. And just enjoyed not doing nothing. And we had things to do, but they'll be there tomorrow. You stay safe too, Adam. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it's weird that Way Too Son's saying that she knows that the treatment days are hard. And I found my chemo days are my best days. And I'm pretty sure it's because of the steroids. But I'm always good all of Monday. And then Tuesday, I start feeling fatigued. By Wednesday, I'm pretty run down. But I get radiation therapy, a radiation treatment every single day of the week. So that's what catches up with me is the radiation. Yeah. Way Too Son said, yeah, we had things to do, but weren't worth our time. I love that. I love it. Tim says, hey, Sty, I hit 45 years of canoe adventures today. Oh, awesome, man. There's a true paddler for you, man. There's a true paddler. Absolutely, Richard. Never do today what you can put off till tomorrow. You know, it's got to, in my mind, I weigh things I need to do. Critical, and it would be good to have done. If it's critical, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and get it done. If it's things that I should get done, well, it's shoulda, woulda, coulda. It'll be there tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, way too, son. That was my issue with chemo and radiation. Why I said no, ain't taking it. I'm gonna, I'm gonna be checking out, guys. No chemo or radiation for me because I've gone down that road with too many family members myself and watched what they went through, firsthand involved, and it was tough. And I did not want to put myself through that or others, more of the others. Talking about milestones, Kurt, I had my 400th class at the new dojo a few days ago. 400? Wow, Richard. Yeah, he gives martial arts classes at a dojo, and man, 400. Wow. That's right, way too, son. Sometimes some things become just less important. Gaining new students, that doesn't surprise me. If I was a younger and or healthier man and lived close to his dojo, there's some things I'd love to have Richard teach me, man. I've watched some of his videos when he's giving instruction, and he's great, man. He is great. You can just tell his students are, they're glued to him. They're glued to him. And it's not because he's so commanding. It's because, man, he's walking them right down that path. I'm gonna show you how you can get from here to there. And boy, they're glued to that. They want to see it, The new students took forever to get in there, huh? Wow. Oh yeah, he deserves the praise there, way to son. Michelle, Richard used to say, well, I can get a little moody, and I can, and we talked about issues and stuff. And I told him, I said, man, I adore you because you're real. That's where it needs to be, And that's the way I am with everybody in the world. Doesn't matter who you are. Please be real with me. Just be yourself and be real. And you got all of my respect if that's what you're doing, is just being real. Yeah. Michelle could keep him straight. Yeah. He can get moody, and I kick his ass back into place. You bet. Yeah. Well, and that's what I like too. Is the few times I've seen Richard try to push the envelope a little bit with Michelle, and Michelle just stands her ground. Man, this is the way it's going to be, buddy. Or this is the way it is. And he gets to that point where, yeah, okay, requiesce, and guess what? We move on. Yeah. Life is good because we're not gonna, I'm not gonna beat everybody up over this kind of thing, Be moody out in the woods and then come home without a sass, please. Yeah, there you go. Get out in the woods, burn that off. That's right. And that's it. Learning what battles to have and what ones not to. See, I'm that way too. And my boy, Running Water, he knows. If I get to a point where him and I just aren't going to see eye to eye to something, I just don't, really, I can't go any further with it. Let's move on. Let's just move on with ourselves, our life, and the fact that we care about each other. Let's move on. And he so respects that, and he treats me so well. Yeah. Woods is my therapy, Richard says, and that's me too. The outdoors is my life. I had to go to my cancer treatment on Friday and use my hiking stick because I got sciatic nerve in my left leg, and it acts up sometimes, and it can be pretty rough. But I only had 2.5 hours of sleep the night before. I was unstable. So I used my hiking stick. I walked in, everybody right away. They were, oh my gosh, are you okay? You're using a hiking stick, blah, blah, blah. And I told them, yeah, I'm just fine. They said, well, at least you're comfortable with being seen using that stick, I said, I need to be comfortable with it. I've been carrying this stick in the woods with me for over 6 years. Actually, now it's 8 years. I said, I estimated this stick probably has close to 1,800 trail miles on it. I said, that stick's like a third leg, Oh, wow, Michelle. Yeah, sciatic nerve is the worst. It sent me to the ER in March, she says. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's times I wish they could cut my leg off. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's a well-used stick. I mean, I love that hiking stick. I love it. It's been with me in the woods so much. Don't dwell in that unhealthy space. That's it. And that's why I tell people, if you can't do the outdoors, there's got to be a window in your house that's low enough you can set a chair by, sit in there, and just look out that damn window. Let some of that natural light hit you. Sit by that window, and if you can open it and get some fresh air blowing on you, better yet. The outdoors is healing. It is definitely healing. It's a very, very healthy place to be. It's just in it. You don't even have to be doing anything. Just be in it. Just be in the outdoors. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Sunlight is a great detoxer. Yeah, absolutely. And it is the absolute best source of our vitamin D, Yeah, Michelle's not an outdoorsy person, but yet when she's traveling, she loves to sightsee and see things. So to me, she's not the in the outdoors with the bugs and crap, kind of person. But she loves the scenery and the view. Driving through pristine mountains through the Smokies or something. She loves that. And, well, that's pretty outdoorsy, actually. You betcha. You betcha. And yeah, she likes the sunlight and the fresh air. It's just all the critters and things out there that Michelle don't much care for. Richard used to talk about it quite a bit, that people would ask him, well, why don't you take Michelle with you camping? No, she ain't, no, she don't want that. Yeah. Yeah, not a trail or tent person. Yeah. It's the dirt and bugs. Yeah, yuck. Yeah, I've been to a few locations. Yeah, she climbed to the top of a hill in the Black Hills. Yeah. And that's it, is Michelle knows what she wants, doesn't want to do. And if she gets a bug to do something, and she just needs a little support in it, she's got Richard. She's got Richard to lean on and say, hey, bud, I want to do that. I'm not going to do it every time you want to go do that, but I want to do that today. Would you help me do that? And Richard be right there. I know it. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. She was so scared climbing to the top of that hill, but Richard was an amazing support guy. Yeah. And that's what so many people in this world need, is just somebody to lean on. I mean, having someone that can support you when you need it. Because otherwise, there's things you'd sorely miss out on. And I don't have a personal companion or anything. I'm single. I'm just a single old bachelor. And I go do things 90% of the time solo. At least 90% of the time. Doesn't mean I don't like people. It's just that I don't have people in my personal life here locally that will go do things with me, outdoors. I do have Cheesehead. Chris lives down an hour away from me, and him and I, we struggle with trying to get together to do things. And we've done a few things together, a couple of meals outdoors, good camp meals. Oh my gosh, he's the cook, man. And I love every visit in camp with him. And he can't do a lot of hiking or anything either because of he's got a bad leg. But he's got a boat, and he's been fishing, and he wants me to go fishing with him so bad. And I'm thinking during my 2-month recovery period, I might be able to sneak out on the boat with Cheesehead Chris and do a little fishing. I've got my license. I can fish if I can get to the water, but I'm not going to do anything until after my full recovery after surgery. I'm not going to do anything solo anymore. I did a couple of waterfalls a couple weeks ago, right after my chemotherapy. I took off down the road and I went to a couple of waterfalls and hiked into them. Loved every minute. Yeah. Now the boat isn't a big boat. It's a smaller fishing boat. Yeah. Yeah. Too bad you're not there, Sty. Like I said, I got 6 months of dealing with this. And the prognosis is so good. After that 6 months, it's not, I can't say it's back to life as usual. It'll be back to life better than usual. Because even if I only feel as good as I did before the symptoms came on of the cancer, even if that's all the better I'll ever feel. It is so much better than this 6 months. I'm going to, back before this came on, I was outdoors camping, hiking, fishing. I will be doing that again. I'll be doing that. I'm determined. I would much rather die sitting in a fishing boat, hiking down a trail, sitting next to a bubbling creek, a waterfall, or on a lake's edge somewhere. I'd rather pass there than sitting at home being miserable and sick. So every moment I can, I want to be out there. Well, now, even with my illness, now, Running Water, my boy, bought a new fire pit. Man, that thing came into the house, that big box. Well, we tore into that yesterday, and he installed it out here in the backyard. I've got a big fire pit back there. I got so much brush and crap all over that yard and wood everywhere. I got a fire pit. I'll tell you what, right now, if I had a mind to, I'd be out there at the fire pit. It's there. I can use it anytime I want. So I will spend time at the fire pit. So what's he do? He surprises me today because there's a firewood splitter. An awesome firewood splitter I wanted. And I told him, I'm going to buy it next month. I got enough money set aside. Next month's income comes in, my retirement comes in. I got enough to dovetail into it and buy that splitter. I'm going to buy that splitter because we got all this firewood to split out here, tons of it. But I can only do a little at a time because my stamina is gone, you know. Yesterday he says, should we run over and pick up that wood splitter? I said, yeah, I was going to get that next month. He goes, no. I'll get it today. So there we go. We went over there and got that brand new wood splitter. We're going to put it together tomorrow. So weather's supposed to be nice. So when I get home from my therapy, we're going to build a wood splitter, put it together. And I get my generator out of my camper trailer because it's electric. So we're going to use my generator to run it. Hey, Gawani, it's good to see you. Awesome. But it gives me something to do and stay physically active and puts me outdoors. And it splits firewood for that fire pit. Yeah. So I'm going to do a video review of that splitter once we get her together and I start splitting wood with it. I'll do a video review of how that splitter works, you know, how well it works. I think that'll be enjoyable. But I made 2 videos of the 2 waterfalls I hiked to. That was May 6th. Look at it, it's the 22nd. I have to get those 2 videos up on the channel. So keep your eyes open. They'll be coming. Before the end of the week, I'm pretty sure I'll have them up. You have a very good night, Kwani. You have a very good night. It is so nice of you to have popped in to say hi. Way Too Sun says, yes, one of the ways I go outdoors is for fire. I love fire. Yeah, I can sit at the campfire at a fire pit for hours and hours. Last summer when I hosted a campground for the Forest Service, every night I had, not every night, if it was raining hard or whatever, I wasn't out there, but on any fairly fair weather night, I had campfire. And it was nice because the fellow that sold firewood to the campground, I kept an eye on things so that people weren't stealing his firewood. They would pay for it, you know. And just to do that, which wasn't any effort, I was there anyway. He would come to my campsite and drop off almost a whole pickup truck full of firewood for me. He says, I know you like your fires at night, so I'll keep you in firewood. He kept me in firewood for almost 4 months. I was there 6 months. The first 2 months, he wasn't there. But once he was there, I never had to buy firewood or put up firewood or nothing. He just gave it to me. And it was great firewood. So I sat around that campfire all the time. This new fire pit we got, it's got this half moon shaped grill that drops in it. So half the pit is open, half the pit is grilled. Oh my gosh, I can just see some nice big steaks on there. And oh. And it's a heavy grate. I can set a Dutch oven on it, make chili. I can bake my stuffed green peppers and all my favorite camp foods after I recover, and I can eat again. When that day comes, I'll be making some campfire recipe videos. I've only done a few in the past, and people enjoyed them. So I'll get back to doing that. It's getting so that I do more and more as close to home as possible because of my condition, but that'll improve. Richard says Michelle and I need to stop by and have a bonfire. Oh boy, I got the wood for it. I got so damn much wood. I mean, we're surprised the city hasn't come and chewed us out because of the yard. Literally half of the property here is covered with logs that are up to, I'd say 22, 24 inches, up to that size. And all of the branches, brush, everything off those trees. 5 big ash trees, all laying there in the yard. Big piles. We brushed most of it, got into brush piles. Well, those brush piles, one of them's right next to the fire pit. I just sit out there with a pruner and prune pieces that are 16, 18 inches long and just keep throwing them in that fire pit, man. Just keep throwing them. Them brush piles be gone by this fall. I'll have them all burned out. Yeah, dig a pit in the backyard, fill it up with water, and fish in the pond. And it's hard to admit, but I'm only about 5 blocks from Lake Superior, from a big bay on Lake Superior. It's got some of the best smallmouth bass fishing you ever seen. Beautiful big perch, walleyes, northern pike, all the trout, brown, rainbows. You can catch coho salmon, Chinook salmon. They're all in there. 5 blocks away from me. In fact, 5 blocks away from me is a public boat landing and beach area that you can just fish off of there. There's a big power plant. It's a wood chip powered power plant, and the warm water discharge from that power plant goes into this pond type area. It's not really a pond because it's part of the bay, but it's warmer water, and the dang fish come in there to feed, and they catch smallmouths in there that are 20 to 24 inches. They're that thick. I mean, they're huge. Yeah. Way Too Son says if we lived there, I would never see my husband. He would be out fishing all the time. Oh, Richard would go nuts up here with all of the inland lakes we have and Lake Superior. Richard would go crazy. He'd love it, man. I know a few little hidden lakes that you go in there just for sunfish, and you're catching, dinner plate size sunfish, or one you laid it on a dinner plate, his tail be hanging over. Yeah. And you'll limit out. You go out there, catch 50 of them buggers in a matter of an hour. And they're big and they fight like mad. Use nice light fishing gear and they're a blast. Oh, man. Oh, we did get to go fishing last week. That's great. Because I know, I know Richard loves to fish. Just as his old videos when he go fishing. He was so happy when he came home. I bet. That had to have been good for him. Well, folks, I always hate to wrap up a stream. You know how I am. But I'm going to have to. I have that long day tomorrow. That's my big day tomorrow. And I have to be at the cancer clinic at about 8:15 tomorrow morning. And then I'm there for 7 hours. I won't get out of there till 2:30, 3 o'clock probably. So I'm going to have to cut out, try to get some calories in me while I have the chance. And if you have the opportunity, Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, around the campfire, that's what we do. We chat. We get together and we chat. And we always have a panelist or two. Yeah, we'll have a good time Thursday night. Otherwise, next Sunday, 7 p.m. Always, every Sunday. Sty's good, bad, or indifferent. I gotta be here for you guys. Gotta be here. So I love y'all. I want y'all to stay safe, healthy, and happy. Please. Until the next time I see you. Now, like I always do when I exit, I'm going to grab this little lady in the fur coat out on my porch, and we're going to do the jig on out of here. Until the next time I see you. Bye-bye.